All right. So we're in here. We haven't done this in a while, but I've been pretty busy over the past couple of months. But so we're back, and we're going to try and get back on schedule. Myself and Mr. Mitchell, of course. Today's show is a little different. It's going to be it's titled Trump and the G Sticks a Fork in M.A. Udoka. Before we get started, I'd like for people to subscribe to the channel, share the videos, and like the video. There are people who've been watching these videos and haven't been sharing the videos and haven't been promoting the videos. We'd like for you to subscribe to the channel, like the videos, and share the videos so we can get more support for the channel and more exposure. Also, looks like my book, Shock Exchange, How Inner City Kids from Brooklyn Predicted the Great Recession and the Pain Ahead. We'll be getting maybe in the news over the next few months, and maybe getting a lot of exposure. So anybody who wants the book, you can just send $30 to my Cash App, and I'll send you a copy. That will cover the cost of the book and shipping and handling. My Cash App is the $Shock Exchange 1. That's SHOCKEXCHANGE 1, the number 1. So it's Shock Exchange 1. So just send $30 to my Cash App, and I'll send you with your name, address, phone number, and your email address. And I will send you a copy of the book that will cover shipping and handling. I don't have a whole lot of time to talk. I'm busy. I've been talking about this book for a while. I don't have time to talk. I don't have time to go, talk for, debate 30 minutes about a book. Either you want it or you don't. That's the best way to get it. So here we go. So basically, the title of the show is Trump and the G Sticks a Fork in M.A. Udoka. And a few weeks ago, M.A. Udoka was suspended by the Boston Celtics for a year for conduct unbecoming the team. Apparently, he broke a team rule, which seems kind of odd. So what type of team rule did he break? They were having suspended for a year. And it was, the message seemed sort of cryptic. It was unfortunate because Udoka had a great season as a coach. He led the Celtics to the finals unexpectedly. And you saw, guys like Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart coming to their own, the big three. They had a phenomenal year. I mean, I know it came at the expense of the Milwaukee Bucks where they had Middleton hurt, but if Middleton had been healthy, maybe they would have advanced to the finals. And then they played against the Celtics played against a team that was just better than them. The Golden State Warriors were better than the Celtics. They a lot more experience, a lot more playoff experience, and a lot more experience of being on the big stage. And that probably hurt the Celtics a lot, that they had not been on the big stage like that. So they just lost to a better team. But Udoka did a great job of leading the team to the finals unexpectedly. And people were looking for more from Udoka and the Celtics this year. This may take some of the wind out of their sails. Who knows? But the message seems sort of cryptic, and there was a lot of speculation on what he did to, receive such a severe punishment. Then it came out that he was in some type of sexual relationship with one of the team employees, and then there was all speculation on which employee it was. So a lot of women's names were being thrown around, unfortunately. And some of those women may have had their, people were casting aspersions about their character, and their reputation may have been besmirched somewhat. So there was a T-to-T between Malika Andrews of ESPN and Stephen A. Smith that gained some traction and got a lot of national exposure. So I'm going to play that clip. I'm going to try to share my screen of the interaction between Malika Andrews and Stephen A. Smith. So here goes.
Is just
you
like
don't
you're
think
not
someone would
mentioning.
notice if Ime Udoka was not at...
Excuse me. I listened to you. You're the one telling me to stop on my show. It ain't happening. Okay, that's number one. Number two, I've already said he deserves to be fired, or he deserves to be there and handle it internally and privately. If you're not going to handle it privately, if you're going to publicize it in that fashion, then obviously it provokes everybody wanting to know, okay, well, who are the parties involved? When you have Amina Smith in Boston and other women pointing out the fact that there were women who were wrongly implicated in all of this, it's a disservice to them. I didn't come out with the report about a consensual relationship. I didn't come out with the report ahead of time leaking that they were going to suspend him for the year. They did that. And my point is, considering how pervasive this kind of stuff has existed in professional sports for many years, my whole point is that, excuse me, make sure that you handle it in the same fashion it has always been handled. You could have fired him, and then we could have speculated till the cows come home, but he's gone. But to keep him there, keep him employed, but in the same breath, suspend him for a year, then also that year is indefinite. That is the issue that I have. Nobody's trying to protect Ime Udoka, and certainly nobody is trying to protect, is to excoriate the women involved or anything like that. I'm talking about how things of this matter are usually handled from an HR perspective, from an organizational perspective. That is not consistent with what we have seen throughout the years. That is the only point that I was trying to make. I'm not trying to attack anybody. And if anybody deserves to be attacked, it's Ime Udoka for putting himself in this position. I've made that very clear. I'm just talking about you got owners and everybody else. They know the kind of stuff that's going on. You didn't say anything about anybody else. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about them. They didn't say anything about everybody else all the other times this stuff has happened. But now when it comes to him, it's all over the place. That is my issue. That is my only issue.
Okay, so I basically agree with Stephen A. Smith. A couple of things. I think Malika was getting aggressive with Stephen A. Smith on his own show, and there's an age gap between Malika Andrews and Stephen A. Smith. So Stephen A. Smith is probably old enough to be her father, I would imagine, or definitely old enough to be her older uncle. So there's a protocol when you're dealing with people who, when you're talking about this is not just basketball, but it's life lessons. When you're talking about life issues, I'm not sure Malika Andrews has been around long enough to really lecture Stephen A. Smith on life, especially given the age difference. So there's a protocol when you're dealing with people who have a lot more experience than you do in life, as well as on the job. So her tone was I was taken aback by her tone a little bit. The other thing is that I think Stephen A. Smith is right. Either fire the guy or suspend him for like maybe 10 or 15 games, but don't leave him in lingo. If he did something that was egregious enough to fire him, then fire him. Why suspend him for a whole year? Then totally get rid of him. Don't leave him in lingo. Other thing is that I think this, from what I understand, is that this lady is not only an employee of the Celtics, who Udoka was involved with, but she's also the wife of the head of basketball operations at the Celtics. So she's basically the boss's wife. And so I appreciate Stephen A. Smith and other analysts letting us know that this type of relationships between players and coaches and employees of these teams is not unusual. They know more about the behind the scenes stuff than a regular person like me would know. So I appreciate that perspective. But I think this is different because, this lady is the wife of the boss. She's basically the boss's wife. I doubt if the Celtics really knew how to handle it, because this probably is very unusual to have a coach involved with the boss's wife or the wife of the head of basketball operations. So they probably didn't quite know what to do. So they definitely couldn't fire him for his performance, because he had a great season. He very unexpected, and he exceeded all expectations as a coach and also for the team. But at the end of the day, Ime Udoka is done. I don't know why there's all the speculation about, is he coming back and blah 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 blah. He will never coach again in the NBA, and he brought that on himself. Ime Udoka does not want his job. If he's in a sexual relationship with the boss's wife or the wife of the head of basketball operations, he does not want his job. He won't coach it for the Celtics anymore, and he probably won't coach in the NBA ever again. I can't see it happening. So I'm not sure why there's all this debate and back and forth and so on and so forth and blah, 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 blah. But he's done. So I think that's, that's sort of the gist of the whole story. I know Malika Andrews was concerned about some of the women who had their characters assassinated because there was speculation about which women were involved with the coach. But I doubt if the Celtics has really come across a situation where you had a coach involved with the boss's wife. They probably didn't know quite how to handle it. But at the end of the day, Ime Udoka's done. He didn't want his job, so now he doesn't have one. That's Trump and the GE. Sticks a fork in Ime Udoka. Thanks for listening.